วัสดีครับ Good morning everyone ท่านคณบดีครับ I apologize for coming late. I come across the town and in fact no excuse. So not a good example for you. I think you have to be on time, but I'm really apologize and very difficult for me to talk about this, because the global citizen not an everyday topic, and I have to see your friends to discuss about what I plan to talk today. And enough, I talk what I like, and then see what you want to say. I think the global citizen means, if you look at the Wikipedia, it means someone who aware and understand the world around you and can be part of it. So I think it's important things. I tell you, some of you who said, "Oh, I want to work in Thailand. Why I want to become global citizen? I don't care about global citizen." But in fact, we are global now, and you see the reason that you have to understand the context of the world. First, I think one important thing. Anyone see this movie? How to think? Yeah. But I think the important thing not how to think, but I get the wrong. It's how to think. And I think this is very important to become a global citizen. I think it has to come from inside. And in fact, I read one book a long time ago that really changed my life. And I think maybe I want to share this one with you. Maybe some of you have read it. Anyone read this book? Yeah, all right. Good. Thinking Fast and Slow. It's by Daniel Kahneman. He's a psychologist, but he won the Nobel Prize in economics. And now he started the new branch of economics, which is called behavior economics. Usually we think economics as a rational, but in fact people are emotional. And many things we do in life is emotional decision. So in this book, Thinking Fast and Slow, the thesis is that when you think every day, you have two systems working together. System 1 and System 2, right? System 1 is like a fast thinking, more like emotional, right? Every day you have to use a lot of System 1, automatic, unconscious, everyday decision, and error prone. So I think the big thing is the error prone. System 2 is slow, it's more like a rational, right? And then conscious, effortful, complex decision, reliable. So usually when you do System 1, it's multitasking. It's like a window operation. You can do many tasks at the same time. You can drive your car, listen to the music, and enjoy the scenery. But once the red light comes, System 2 can come to work. You push the brake. So System 2 is more like a single task. You have to do it. You have to pay attention. It's more like tiring. Usually your brain is so smart that if you can use System 1, they try to avoid using System 2. They try to use automatic mode and use System 1. And that causes many problems in our society right now. Like this one, what is it? How you read it? Kudo ใช่ไหมชื่ออะไรนะ Kuda. Sorry. How do you read this one? ABC, right? ABC is automatic. System 1 was so easy. But how do you read this one? 12, 13, 14, right? So System 1 is automatic by the context too, right? So if you pay attention, we wonder what is the middle is, right? So sometimes automatic system doesn't lead to the correct judgment or decision, right? Is a good guy or bad guy? He looks bad, right? But in fact, that's a System 1 that he's a bad guy. But in fact, the correct answer is I don't know, because we don't know him well. Right? But sometimes System 1 really leads to the conclusion in many things, right? So System 1 is fast, multitasking and emotional. System 2 is more reasonable thing. And System 1 subject to different type of bias and illusions, sometimes lead to incorrect judgment or incorrect decision, right? Illusion happen, right? Like 2 multiplied by 2, how much is it? 4. That's a System 1, right? Because we have a สูตรคูณ, right? So we do it by heart. We don't have to think about it. But when you go like this one, no way you can do. Or maybe someone can do it, but I can't. So you have to, System 2, you have to pay attention. And it's a single task. You have to do calculation. So similar the brain, there are two things. Illusion, right? I mean, look at this one. It's a typical, well-known A and B. You think it's the same color or different color? A and B. It's not a trick. Just it look different, right? A and B. But when you really cut and paste it, A and B the same color, but it's an illusion that by graphic, I just do it and cut and paste, So A and B same color. So sometimes you have illusions, and if you just follow your system one, you get incorrect answer. There are two bias. I think confirmation bias is the mother of all, And then I think many problems that we have conflict in our society come from confirmation bias. So it's like just you try to search information that confirm your belief. If you believe I'm bad, you find information that I'm bad, and you don't listen to other information that make you wrong. And this is the thing that really causes problems in our society and in the world. In the world, many conflicts because this confirmation bias, right? I was a transport minister a long time ago, about 10 years ago, and we have like 2 billion investment mega project plan, right? And when I went to talk, if they think I'm a good person, they don't listen to the detail. They just applaud, oh, good project. Never listen to the detail, They just confirmation bias that, okay, must be a good project. And the people who believe that I'm a bad guy, bad politician, they never listen to detail, I talk 2 hours, they say, oh, bad, corruption, bad. So these two things happens. And now, and even worse, why? I think digital make it worse because you have something like, we call it the echo chamber, right? Previously, in the analog world, we meet people with different ideas. In a room, there are people with, so we learn to live with people with different ideas. But in the digital world, you go to the blog or the Facebook that have similar ideas. End up you become in the echo chamber. And everyone reinforce your thinking, reinforce your belief. I think the conflict become stronger. So I think in the globalization world, you see this problem happening more and more and more. So you have to be aware of it, Otherwise, the conflict. And I think in the future, you see more conflict, more black and white scenario. I think, in fact, the world is a grayscale. So if you follow your system one too much, I think end up the world maybe become worse. The other one is like substitution bias, right? I think, as I said, the brain is so smart that you substitute the difficult question by easy question that you can answer by system one. You can answer by emotion, because when you answer emotion, there is no right or wrong. It's just you. But in fact, the question may be you need rational answer. Like the question maybe I have to ask professor, like, should Thailand legalize weeds? Very difficult question. It's like you need system two to think about it, right? Okay, what's the impact? What's the economic return? But many people maybe change the question, substitute the question by, do you like smoking weeds? If you like, maybe you agree with this, And many people substitute it, You may against the narcotic, you say bad. You may like weeds, so you say yes. But in fact, a different question from the first one. So in life, be careful that you answer the right question. You don't substitute the question by the easier one that you can use emotion to answer it. And I think the world right now, many problems, right? Because I think Patrick Dixon, he wrote The Future of Almost Everything. He said the single word that will drive the future is emotion. And with this digital world, it become more stronger. You can see it everywhere, the conflict, and get stronger. And I think one thing that I learned, in social media, you get many things, but social media is way better for destruction rather than construction. Why? Because when you want to destroy something, it's one goal, right? To destroy one thing. So you can maybe like everything go to destroy one thing. But when to construct, you need many ideas and combine many ideas together. With social media, maybe not a good way to collaborate on it, right? So Thomas Friedman, he wrote the book, Thank You for Being Late. He said, the social media may be good for collective destruction, but not so good for collective construction. So you see Arab Spring, right? I mean, it's good that you can demolish the dictator, but to build democratic system from social media, very difficult. End up going back, maybe even worse. So be careful when you do it. And this is the globalization context that we have to be aware. So that thing that I want to maybe share with you, and the book really have impact on me. And hopefully if you look at it, when you think about it, think carefully, is it system one or is it system two? Are you using emotion? Are you using rational decision? So two things that I want to mention about the globalization or global citizen, maybe one is the importance of the global citizen, the impact of Bangkok or Thailand, and how to become a global citizen, right? Why it's so important? Even you don't want to leave Bangkok, you want to be here for good. Why it's so important to understand the context of globalization? I think we have the next war coming right now. It's happening now, but maybe you don't realize it. What is the next war? What is a city? City is primarily the labor market, right? We are here because we have job, so we compete for job. So in fact, the next war, it will be the human capital war. Edward Glacier is a professor of Harvard in city planning. He said there's no successful city without human capital. So in the future, the city will compete for talents, right? So the war that you see in the future will be a talent wars. And you will be part of it for sure. You'll be part of the talent wars. Why you come to Mahidol? I think you will join in this wars. And when you compete for talent war, you don't compete only in Bangkok. Now you compete with people around the world. Why? Because the job market is not localized only in Bangkok or in Thailand already. And I think the birth rate decline everywhere. I mean, even we have population decline for 2 years in a row. And in many countries, so you see more competition for talents. I think when you look at number for Thai new generation, I think for Asian countries, most of Thai youths want to work overseas. They don't want to work in Thailand. But I think they see more opportunity, more stability, more chance in other countries. And you see a shortage of talents. And then you see many countries competing for talents. Right? You see Singapore, UK, UAE, Japan, Australia, China, they all offering visa for talents. So if you are good, you can be anywhere, right? And if you are good, you can come to Thailand and get a job in Thailand too. And they will compete with you in the future, the workforce. And you see it's happening right now, right? Because location is less relevant. Why? Because something, I think Vladimir Lenin put it a long time ago that there are decades that nothing happened, that there are weeks that decades happen. I think you see the last year, many things change, You see work online class, Zoom. We never imagined we're going to use it. I mean, the online class had been here for like 10 years. But once the COVID came, you can be online class in weeks. We know how to use Zoom, but we don't use it. But when COVID came, world changed. You see the penetration of e-commerce in the US, double in 8 weeks. So things change, and then that affects work market too, right? I mean, when you work in the service sector, you work in bid and buy. Location is irrelevant. You are in Chiang Mai, in Bangkok, or in US, in Seattle. You can connect through internet, right? And it happened. Location is less relevant. No one company, right? I mean, it's an online company, ProSoft, used to be in Bangkok. They moved everyone to Chiang Mai, 137 employees, and they provide service to everywhere in the world. So if it happened to them, they can be happening to other countries, providing service to Bangkok, to Thailand too. So you're not compete locally, you are compete globally with other people, right? Yeah, so this is where they work. So they work in the rice field. They move from Bangkok to Chiang Mai and work online, providing service to Bangkok company. And this can happen, yeah. So in the previous time that we do manufacturing, we transport molecule, they have logistic cost and time. But now you providing service through bid and buy, no logistic cost. Any location similar. So you compete with the world at the moment, right? I mean, another company, CGscape, moved from Bangkok to Chiang Mai to providing graphic software, graphic rendering to many countries in the world, based in Chiang Mai. You see the company you see digital nomad, number 1 in the world, number 2 for Bangkok, Chiang Mai. So you see people with digital talents come to Thailand and work here, provide service to other countries. Alstom is a French company in Bangkok. They're hiring 800 engineers, many of them from other countries, located in Thailand. So they're competing with Thai engineers now. Another company that I saw is Agoda, the booking company, right? There are like 2,500 employees in Central World at the moment, coming from everywhere in the world, working in Thailand. So it's relevant to you to become global. because you are competing with the global workforce. And as they come, they work, they come maybe by themselves or by internet service. So you have to be aware of the situation, right? So how to become global citizens? I think there are something that you need to understand. I think there are some global concerns that you have to understand, maybe at least 4, right? This is a global concern like sustainability. You have to understand it because many companies now are in ESG rating. They need to understand what the future would be for the environment, right? How can you meet the needs of the present without compromising the ability of your generation in the future? I like the following picture. This is in Bangkok. So that's how we create garbage. 10,000 tons every day. 10,000 tons every day. It cannot be sustainable for your generation, right? I like this picture. I think the dean and me will die of old age, hopefully, right? But your generation will die of climate change, right? So I think the concern for the global citizen is change, right? Now we want to retire peacefully, get the bamnan, right, pension fund, and then, but in your generation, you have to think about the global warming, the climate change, right? And that's the tragedy of the commons, because in the common, nobody owns it, right? I mean, if you have a big well, people suck the water out, extraction, and nobody control the commons. So end up, everybody lose, right? And this picture was written maybe long time ago. But if you flip this picture upside down, what do you see? You see a greenhouse effect, right? We used to suck, we used to extract, but now the problem is more like emission. Nobody control the sky. It's a common property, but now we're releasing the greenhouse effect and causing. So I think this is the thing that you have to be aware that if you don't understand these 17 goals, look at it. It will affect your future work for sure. Inequality is the problem, right? Look at Bangkok. When you look at, there are many things, ESG criteria. Good, very nice in the macro level, but when you look at the lower right corner of this building, lower right corner, what did you see? You see this thing, inequalities, and it's happening more and more, and we cannot survive without tackling this situation. And in Bangkok, I think you see this problem even more. The rich got richer and the poor got poorer. And then Thailand is one of the most unequal cities in the world, in countries in the world. We are number 4 worldwide. We are number 1 in Asian region. So as a new generation, you have to understand this problem. Inclusivity, key thing, right? We have to be inclusive for everyone, right? Everyone matters. No matter you are like wheelchair, we have to improve Bangkok to be inclusive for everyone, wheelchair or maybe the handicapped or special person or even the LGBTQ. So we need to think about this in our future work and future ideas and even the innovation to tackle this problem. And I think so with this concern, what qualities you need? What qualities you need to become global citizen? This from my experience. I think the quality you need discipline, right? I mean, if you don't need discipline, you just want freedom, you want to be like, but freedom is good in one sense, right? But you have to control yourself. I like the quote by, I think someone who is a jogger here, Emily run. So Kipchoge, he's a Kenyan guy, right? He ran marathon, the first guy who ran under 2 hours, the fastest. He was delivering milk in Kenya, very poor. But he trained hard and he became the world champion. And he read a lot and he get the quote that only the disciplined one in life are free. If you are undisciplined, you are a slave to your mood and your passions. So that's important. Sometimes when I was young, right, I studied a lot. And then my friend told, you have no freedom. Why don't you go out and like go to parties? Why don't you study so hard, right? So I feel, maybe I study too hard. I have a discipline to study, right? But now I'm free. I can be anything I want. I can become a governor, a minister. I can be a CEO of the companies. I can be a professor. Because I have discipline at the beginning, right? So I can follow my dreams. But if you don't have discipline, you may have a short time freedom. But in the long term, you will be slave to your passion. You want to be this, you want to be that. And you'll be slave to it because you cannot accomplish it. So I think discipline is a key thing to become a global citizen in the future. curiosity is one thing, I think you have to want to learn more, right? I think the book by Adam Grant, he's a professor, I think in the Kellogg. He wrote many books, and I think he wrote about originals. And the key thing for become original, you need curiosity. I think many of you are specialized in your area, right? Maybe you are maybe in the healthcare, in the business, but I think you need the T-shaped knowledge. Not only the deep one, but you have to know other things too, philosophy, economics, social, art, something to get the complete picture. Because to get the solution for the future, for the globalization, you need more than your deep knowledge. You need wider knowledge to get the complete picture, right? So what I did, I read a lot, right? So I read every day. So my method is read or listen, right? When I run for the governor, the first thing I do, I order books from Amazon, every book about cities, and I read. Because you have to understand many things to find a good solution. Maybe you have different idea or different method, like someone maybe listen podcast, or maybe you go to online course, but expand your knowledge. Be curiosity, right? I mean, I mentioned SDG goal, 17 of them previously, in the previous slides. If you don't know about it, after this, go and find out what are the 17 goals of SDG. Don't just leave it and then forget about it, right? So try to expand your knowledge. And I think I like what Steve Jobs said, right? Your life is to connect the dots, right? And you cannot connect the dot in the future. You can connect the dot only in the past, right? So your experience, your knowledge in the past is more important because you cannot use the dot in the future to provide solution at the moment. So the key thing is to collect the dot. Get the knowledge, get experience, right? When you have 2 dots, you got only one answer, straight line. But you have many dots, you can provide more solution. If you have experience and you have creativity, right? But important thing, you need to have the dot first before you can do any creative or innovation things. I think the life is to collect and connect the dot. So I think that's the difference between the one who focus in one area and the one who have wider knowledge and experience. And another thing would be, first thing, but this one long time ago, a book by Stephen Covey, 7 Habits of the Successful People, right? So I think your life is one, everyone has the same jar, one jar. So this jar is like 24 hours, right? Common thing, you need to put 3 things in it, stone, paper, and sand. Stone is the most important thing in your life. Paper less important, and sand is least important, like TikTok or Facebook or something, But sometimes we push too much sand in our jar of life, right? We spend time looking at TikTok, looking at Line, Facebook, and we say, we don't have time for health. We don't have time for family. We don't have time for reading books. So I think for the future global citizen, you need to put first thing first. Put your stone in your jar first. Then, otherwise, you're going to be like this, right? You put sand first. You spend time like TikTok or half of your day, end up no place for important things. But if you put your stone first, there will be space for sand, right? So when I come here on my car, I watch TikTok because it's a free time. So the sand can fill in empty time in the jar, right? But don't let it occupy too much of your time. So what did I do this morning? This morning I woke up at 2 to prepare these slides. So that's the most important thing for today, And then I go jogging. Because that's also the most important thing. I mean, you want to take care of your loved one, you want to take care of your people, you need to have good health first. So stone for me is health, So I go like jogging, Benjakiti Park with my friend, So they all come 5 in the morning, run 10 kilo and go to work. So that's my first thing. Even more important than family, Because if I'm not healthy, how can I take care of my families? But people have different stones. So define your own stones and let it occupy your time in your jar of life, right? That's very important. Think again. So this is another book by Adam Grant, right? Because there's one thing that in the book, similar to, it's another bias of the system one, which is called Dunning-Kruger effect. So usually people, when they have so the vertical axis is confidence. and the horizontal is knowledge, right? So when you just came to Mahidol, you have no knowledge, so your confidence is low. But when you start have some knowledge, your confidence go up, right? And sometimes, oh, this should be mouse stupid, not mouse stupid. Sometimes you get stuck on the mouse stupid. You stop learning because you're so confident with your knowledge, right? But if you continue learning, you know that you know nothing. You go to the valley of despair, and you keep on learning. You go to plateau of sustainability, right? But many people got stuck on the mouse stupid because they're so confident in what they know, right? I think Thai idiom ได้ครับพี่ดีครับนายสบายครับผมเหมาะสมครับท่าน everything is fine sir don't need to do anything and don't laugh at it you will be like this when you become like an executive, you know. You see this often. I think the dean also experienced this sometime, you know. So it's a typical Thai official. So don't get stuck with it. Otherwise, you're going to be on the mouse stupid, right? And then the rethinking cycle. So you have to have humility, doubt, curiosity, as I mentioned, and then discovery. But you are overconfident. You have pride, you have conviction, confirmation bias, and validation. End up you got stuck on the mouse stupid. And in this book, I think you have to wonder, challenge your own belief, you know. I became a governor because I think again, right? When I ran for the governor, they have many things. And so, I'm sorry. This one, you have to wonder, is it the right thing, right? During the COVID, we see people get donation, right? No, it's good for the hospital, but I wonder, where's the role of government? Where is our tax, you know? They should provide all this to the hospital for the necessity thing, you know. You don't let the hospital try to get donation. They must come from the tax, from the budget, right? So they prepare everything for the citizen. So if you start to rethink your idea, you might question what's happening, right? So so the book Think Again, doubt what we know, curious what we don't know, and updating ideas based on new information. This is important for become a global citizen because things change in the world, you know. Knowledge change, so you have to update your knowledge and wonder if you okay with what you know, right? And then the progress is impossible without change, and change has to come from your mind first. Action come after mind, right? So when I ran for the governor, there are many suggestions for me, right? I mean, 9 months ago, okay, you have to belong to the political party. You cannot be independent because you need vote. They have like maybe 100,000 votes of the party. You need to have Sokor or council member to support you. You have to hit big rallies, you know. You have to have investment. You have large amount of capital, big billboard, every street, campaign. I did everything in opposite, you know. I didn't follow because I think again what people need, right? So if you follow your own belief, you might not. I might not become a governor because think again. And I think we did very efficient, right? I mean, I use the way of the handbill. Usually I use small one, so I do the newspaper because people like to read newspaper. And then during the COVID time, there's no customer, so everyone get the handbill and they read it, and they can use for many things, right? I look at the Trump and Biden campaign when I went to see my son, so I changed the billboard to become a small one like this, right? And this really changed the way it's happening now. So now you see most of the smaller billboard. It really changed from think again, right? Don't always believe what has been done before, right? And even become so people are like try to fight it, you know, and worship with the red water, you know. And it's become very strong billboard, you know. Everyone laughs, you know. But no, because it's small, so it doesn't attract wind, you know. So it become strong, but so it become like the social media, yeah. And then, so we use like bag and then apron. So we think again and we get lots of attention. We use cartoon so we think again. What's a good way to communicate, right? Use a lot of social media thing. So that's how we handle the future, you know. Don't use the thing that worked before. Even if it worked before, it might not be working in the future, right? So there are many things that
อันนี้คือเศรษฐกิจสร้างสรรค์ของน้องชื่ออะไรเนี่ย
that we find my
ลุงชื่ออะไร
ชัดชาติ
That's my hand view.
ชัดชาติครับ
ตกลงลุงชื่อชัชชาติ
ครับเบอร์อะไรเบอร์8
ยังหนึ่งสองสาม
So I think nobody used, I don't know TikTok, that time. And then my staff said, why don't try TikTok? Okay, think again, try TikTok. And cost nothing. And you got 4 million views. And this is the first TikTok I have, the next one. Yeah, first TikTok. My staff came and took picture, and you get 7.5 million views, And the kids in the market all know me, when I went to the market, 8 years old kid, oh, Chadchart. How do you know me? TikTok. And then they tell their parents to vote for me, So very efficient way. And this is the first TikTok. And that's got nearly 8 million views. So why are you watching this for 8 million times, But that's how it works. So you have to think what the future would be. So I think again, important. Don't just believe what you have done. Success in the past don't guarantee the future success. And update your knowledge. And the last one would be empathy. I think this is a very key thing for the future, for the global citizen. Right? I mean, you are here. I think you are much better than many people in this city or in this world. But the key thing is to empathize others too. That's important thing, right? I mean, in 2013, Oxford Dictionary have word of the year every year. And in 10 years ago, they have one word, So what is it? There's Prime Minister over there. Selfie, right? The selfie. People think about themselves a lot. But in order to be sustainable in the future, you need to think of other people too. And that's a big problem, right? The World Value Survey by Dr. Thani in faculty of economics. For Thai society, usually we tell our kids, obey adults, discipline, enter good college like you, right? So that's what our parents tell us. But there are other values that are important too, right? In other countries like Japan or Europe, they say you have to respect public rights. You have to empathize, have empathy, you have to contribute to society. So these are also important set of values and important for the future generation, right? The first 3 important. This one is not less, right? So look at Bangkok. I ran this morning and motorcycle ran on footpath, and they shocked when they see me. They saw me. They said, "Okay, sorry." But it's okay, don't do it. I said, "Okay, don't do it." But that's what happened in Thailand, in Bangkok, right? Many things. Other countries like Japan, I think they have a discipline. They have understand the public right, empathy. So we see more trend for the new generation. And when you empathy, right? When you empathize, when you become involved in your work, right? You have a street vendor in Bangkok, right? Many street vendors, and people complain. Why don't you get rid of them, right? As a governor, they said, many people said, get rid of them. Don't let them stay. But when you empathize them, right? You go talk to them. They have no way to go. They have kids, they have family to support, right? It's so easy for me to clean them up, get them out of the street. No matter they want to go. But very difficult. The kids, the family. So enough, we empathize them. We try to make them place for them to stay, and okay for the pedestrian too. So I think you have to empathize. Maybe it makes your life more difficult, but that's the important thing for the future, to understand people's life and try to help them have a better life, right? So we try to, okay, at least stay, you can stay, but maybe 1 year after this, you have to go, stay, and then make it the pedestrian, okay, clean, help, take care of the street too. Right? I like this teacher, Shinnakorn from Nakornpathom, I think. Every student in his class got first place in some area. So he tried to empathize the student, try to find the strength for them, right? Because if you only for the academic, maybe 1 or 2 get first prize, and then the rest don't get anything. But for his student, there are many things, right? The number 1 in presenting science project, distributing milk to friends, fishing, food massaging, teacher assistant, playing local drum. So everyone have their strength. Find the good things in other people, empathize them, and I think you make life, the society much more in harmony, right? Respect one another. So empathy is not sympathy. Sometimes we confuse, right? Sympathy is I know how you feel. But empathy is I feel how you feel. Next step, right? To understand the hardship, the pain in other people's life. And I think the future, maybe another book coming, so should be more unselfish, empathize other people. And then with empathy, you can have compassion and kindness. I like this is Martin Niemöller. He was the priest in Germany during the Second World War, right? And then when Hitler came, he was not against the Hitler. He kind of support him, right? And at the end, he was captured and sent to the camp, but he survived. And then he wrote the poem that I think in many museums of the concentration camp have this poem, right? And I think it's a good lesson for us to read. He said, first they came from the socialists, and I did not speak out because I was not a socialist, right? And they came from the trade unionists, and I did not speak out because I'm not the trade unionist. And they came from the Jews, and I didn't speak out because I'm not the Jews. And then they came for me, and there was no one left to speak for me, right? So if you don't empathize other people, at the end it will be your turn to get the same thing, right? So I think the society in the future, you have to understand, you have to empathize other people. And that we survive together. We become the global citizen together as a whole. Yeah. So I think, so that's the conclusion, empathize. There are many things that I think you already did it, but maybe just to summarize from my experience. And hopefully this presentation maybe give you some idea to become an effective global citizen. And thank you for all this, your friends, because I met with him last week to get some ideas what you want to hear today. All right. Thank you very much. ขอบคุณครับ
Thank you ค่ะ Thank you very much, Dr. Chadchart, for the extremely inspiring talk for the creating global citizens. Please join me for the last round of applause to Dr. Chadchart Sittipunt, Bangkok Governor. So now, I do believe that some of the audience, perhaps you may have some kind of questions. We still have some minutes left. So if you already have some kind of questions in mind, so please raise your hand. So we have one already. Could anyone bring the microphone to Panya?
Test. All right. First of all, I would like to say thank you so much for allowing me this opportunity to speak. And good morning to Dr. Chadchart and everyone here at the home of wisdom, Mahidol University. My name is Panya. I'm a fourth-year student. This is my last term in MUIC. I'm actually not Thai. I'm from Cambodia. Now, speaking about creating a world of globalists, and also being here in MUIC, I have witnessed and worked with some of the best talents that are not from Thailand, where I love my Thai people and I love Thailand myself. And I really want to be a part of this change, that Thailand is going to become a place where it congregates talents across the world like Singapore, Canada. But unfortunately, we as international people have experienced a challenge that limits our opportunity to flourish here in the country. I myself, as an international people, I've trained Thai people to go and compete. I have empowered, alongside my friends, she's half Thai, half Singaporeans, and my Indian friends, and also my Russian friends. So my question really is expressed from the heart, and that is, what will be the next stage or the next step in terms of the Thai government to assist this matter, to really enrich and give the opportunity for Thailand to grow as a place that really instills globalization and internationalization in the country? Because truly, globalization is a vision where we see a country with no borders. So how do we approach, how will Thailand, especially the governor of the country, will approach this matter? Thank you so much.
Oh, good question, and I thought about it a lot. But I cannot answer for the government because I'm not the prime minister. So I can do only for the city of Bangkok, right? And I think this thing so important to bring Thailand in. I have one strange experience, because we have many park, and now we try to promote park. You see lots of change in Bangkok Park. And then we just opened a small area in Benjakiti Park for dogs, like 4 rides for dogs, let the dogs come in. And then when I went to AmCham, it's the American Chamber of Commerce one day. And after the meeting, the CEO of the American company came to me and greet me, say, thank you so much for the dog park, to have the dog park. Why you have a dog? He said he had no dogs. And why you like dog park? Because he can convince 2 very good engineers from Japan to move to Thailand. He tried many years, not successful. But when we established a dog park, some small thing, in our opinion, they decide to come to Bangkok because we develop better quality of life. They have dogs as their kids, So I think small things happen. So first I think we have to improve the quality of life in Bangkok. So everyone have access. Another thing for our foreign friends, we talk to BOI, Board of Investment, which they have a capability about visa issues and about residency, So Bangkok will settle, we call it one-stop service for foreigners. We will assist our foreigner friends who want to work in Bangkok, how to adapt to the change, visa issue, residence, school, hospital for the kids, even culture change. So we try to copy Korean. I think in Seoul they have something like one-stop service to this. So this will help our foreign friends to get adjusted or even maybe make their life here more comfortable. So I think the goal is to make Bangkok the goal to be center of the region for multinational corporations. We bring people in, we bring Thailand, and then Thailand create more works for Thai people, create economy. So be our guest, and then if you have time, maybe visit the city hall if you have other suggestions. But we try to bring you in and be part of our communities. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think we are good in time. So the last questions, please. Okay.
Thank you for this opportunity. Going a bit off of my friend Panya's point of internalization, you've presented a very fine speech about how the principle of empathy is one of the key factors in creating a global citizen. My question here is a practical approach. So we live in a world that's not perfect, right? Racial scrutiny, discrimination, this and that exists. So as someone graduating from an esteemed college, how would you suggest, as a person in a very high position, that we tackle this problem of racial discrimination? Because this is also, I'm also a foreigner, and the reason why I moved here was because my home country racially segregated me. And I'm very glad to have this opportunity to be in a better place. But moving forward, I want to become the change to stop what happened to me, to stop that to happening to my children. So you, as someone in a very esteemed position, how would you suggest that I make myself a global citizen to, further improve the world?
Okay, thank you. Difficult question, but I think it has to come from both sides, like bottom up and top down. So first, before you change the world, change yourself first, right? So that's why I come here to talk. Because I think the change comes from each person in the community. So if every one of you understand empathy, you create effect, at least in your boundary, And if each boundary combine, so it become mass. So first, from each of you, if you want empathy, do it yourself first, right? And for the top, I think if you are in the executive or in politician or you have some ranking, do it, leading by example. Like for me, right, if I have empathy, my staff need empathy. Why in the flooding, right, why I go out to visit people who are in trouble? Because we want to empathize them, see what they want. So if you are leader, don't just preach empathy and don't practice it. Do it. Show good example to your people. Show empathy in your policy. right? So we try to be inclusive. So we have like clinic for LGBTQ. We embrace disabilities in Bangkok. So we understand the life. We don't evict all the street vendor. We have policy that find the space for them to live. So I think you have to come from both, each of you. If you think it's important, practice it. And from the top, policy, strategy, do it, and leading by example. So these two will change, can change the world. And you can see Bangkok, I think I'm sure it's changing. So don't give up, don't lose hope. I think we need hope and faith. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much. Last question. Last of the last, if you want.
Oh, hello. I'm 100% Thai student, and
Me too.
100% Thai student. I am marketing second years. I would like to go back to what you mentioned before about the street vendor. Yeah, do you have already implement the practical policy already for them? Like you mentioned that maybe 1 year offer them to move. Is that already 100% applied for around Bangkok already?
I think the street vendor, there are many different areas, right? They are like local market, local community, which was there for like 50 years. So I think this type of market or street vendor, I think we will allow them to stay, but you need way for pedestrian, right? In the main street, I think they will go in 1 year. Main street, that major pedestrian way. In the smaller soils, they can stay if they make it clean, right? If they don't help each other to make the street clean in the smaller soil, not many people walking, you go to. So I think you have to take responsibility of themselves too, right? And now we try to implement similar to Hong Kong, we call like a hawker center. So move them to more like a clean place, special place, or even in the private sector. Yeah, so move them to that area. So I think we have two prototypes that we are implementing. So move them and maybe low rent, like in Singapore. But I think in Thailand, the hawker center, there are already many of them, but privately owned. Yeah, so I think we try to push them into more like clean and better place for their future. And the other place to be place like Khao San or like tourist destination. So that's other thing that different rules apply. So to answer the question, each area have a different regulation and rules that apply, that match their qualification. But I hope that at the end, they won't be street vendor for their life. You know, you have to move to a permanent or better future. And I think maybe the tax scheme would be another thing that we will apply in the future, that every street vendor has to like report the tax income. You know, and once you reach certain revenue, you cannot stay on the street. But that may be another step. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you
you,
all the questions and answers. Thank you, Dr. Chadchart, as well.
you.